by a show of hands, who here is currently farming a neighborhood? Raise your hand, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, and a half. We always get a half point in there. 7. That puts us up to 7. Math. Okay. All right. And then the rest of us might be thinking about farming. What about not just farming? What about is anyone doing micro farming, where like you've got a listing, maybe you're sending out a blitz campaign, just listed, under contract, just sold? No, maybe, yes, possibly. Yeah. Okay. What's that? You'd like to? Okay. Okay. I can help you. Yes. Perfect. Got your back, Renee. All right. Sweet. So some of us are doing some stuff. All right. Just trying to gauge the room. So today we're talking about, I just kind of made this up. New age farming, I guess, is what we're calling it. Leveraging data, digital ads, and direct mail to find deals. Oh. Courtney's on the mute. We got it. Mute all. Perfect. I'm Jared. I'm with Chicago Title. I'm a sales rep. I know most of you are already in this class, so this will be a little refresher. Teach a ton of classes. I'm going to share with you a few classes that'll be we've got coming up. Courtney, what do we have next coming up on the docket? Do we have anything? Google Business Profile Optimization next month? Okay, cool. Excellent. This is my wife, my kids, my family. Teach about 7-ish classes a month. We're going to try to do 100 classes and events this year. Did 92 last year. So everything I do, it's all free, value add. I want to support you. I want to bring the real estate community together. So it's anything from educational content like this to fun stuff, whether we're doing dodgeball or mini golf, or next event is waxing and whiskey, where if you have skis or snowboards, come on by. We're going to do whiskey tasting. We're going to have people waxing your skis, snowboards, again, like fun stuff. Just making things up and seeing if people show up. So if that sounds interesting to you, come on down. We'll get an invite out. All right. That's in early February. Classes offered this year. We're doing 13 classes. Ton of stuff. All right. We did Facebook ads, meta ads about a couple weeks ago in here. We're doing Google Business Profile Optimization coming up here, I think, in a couple of weeks, whatever the calendar says, which is does anyone have a Google Business Profile account? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Cool. We're going to show you how to optimize it, make it better, ideally get you organic business from it. That's the goal. I'm going to show you kind of some hacks that I've learned from over the past 13 months of improving mine and legitimately getting inbound leads from it. I actually got a lead this morning from someone in Washington. So it works. Yeah, pretty wild. So classes for real estate agents, tech and AI. This is a brand new class. I just actually taught this a few weeks ago. It's all on new stuff for 2025. Some of you were actually there. Video Pro Level 1. This is a class on if you want to get into doing more video. We leverage CapCut, which by the way is unlocked. I don't know if you guys noticed that. I put out a video like literally 30 minutes before they unlocked it on how to get access to it, but it's back. So we got CapCut, which is what we use to show you how to edit videos. Level 102, we take it up a notch. If you're looking for ideas on content for your video, show up to this class. I'm going to have 3 different scripts, pieces of content. We're going to show you how to create that like talking head style video where we remove that background and we put something in there behind you. So it can be something that you talk about. And I've got some ideas for you. So now we're taking the video series to the next level. And I'm coming up with like, what can we do of value for you as a real estate professional that you can share as content out to all of your audiences? Okay. Let's get that mute going there. Or just kick them out. Okay. I'm gonna kick them out. Today's farming. All right. Cool. Meta ads. We did that last class. Huge, great class, especially for everyone who's farming in the room, which we'll talk a little bit about today. There's also the other side of meta ads, which is generating leads, which we haven't gone on the schedule yet, which we will do, which is how to generate leads through Facebook. If you want to go down that route and play the game of Facebook leads. Classes keep going. Google ads, Canva class, headshots and happy hour. You can get it. We're doing a lot of stuff, guys. So I'm just kind of giving you flavors. Hopefully there's something there that you like. Stay tuned. If you get the, who found out about this class through Eventbrite? 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5. Okay, cool. Cool. Perfect. Follow on Eventbrite. If you get the Eventbrite emails, we'll keep you in the loop. All right. Quick 20-second spiel. Chicago Title. It's where I work. That's how I get paid. Guys, if you have listings, we'd love to work with you. I'm sure if we're not working together, if you got a title company, we'd love to be considered to work with you for your business. We have to do a great job. We have to, of course, close your deals, provide great experience. But then in addition to that, I don't think that's enough. That's where I come in. I want to help you with your business, right? Whether it's social media, Facebook ads, video, Google, that's where I live and breathe. So at the end of the day, I help you with your marketing, but I sell title insurance. All right. Before I got into title insurance 8 years ago, I ran a marketing company. We did video, social media ads. I nerd out on all this stuff. I always say, I'm in sales, you're in sales. Like, let's help each other. Let's support each other. If I help you with your business, I'd love for you to help me with my business. Okay. So today we're talking about farming. Okay. Everyone has this handout. We're giving away some stuff within the farming handout, some stuff that just we won't have time to cover today. So I think a lot of you are familiar with this. Write your name down, write your contact info. We'll go through these as we go through the class. Anything you want access to, check the box, and then we'll give you access to it. All right?
Will you share the screen on Zoom?
Yep, totally. That might be important.
Hey, Jared, is this available on the Toolbox?
What's that?
Is this available to me on?
Those are all custom Jared things. But
Okay.
are we on? We are sharing, right? We're sharing? All right, cool. And Title Toolbox, which we're going to talk about today. All right. So goals for you today, great segue. Thanks, Renee, is Title Toolbox. Okay. So Title Toolbox is our #1 resource that everyone in this room should have access to. Okay. Especially if you want to farm. Basically what it is, it's a system. You can pull data on just about any type of property within the United States. And we're going to dive into more information on it. Chicago Title essentially subsidizes the cost for you so that you can use it, pull data for free. All right. Beyond that, we're going to talk about what I think are the most effective direct mail strategies. We're going to tap a little bit into Facebook, Instagram ads. I know we went deep into that class in this room like 2 weeks ago. We'll talk about some open house ideas as well as some other ways on how we can be more targeted. All right. So that's the plan. Intro to farming. Here we go. Right. So guys, definition of farming, right? Pretty straightforward is we're going to market to a specific geographic area or demographic. We want to build authority. We want to get deals, right? We want to get business. Goals really are I want to have you understand what we're going to do and go from beginner to advanced today on how far you can take this, on how much you want to do. So what is real estate farming, right? It's really, I think most of us think direct mail, that's where it starts, but it goes way deeper than that. I think if you're going to do the direct mail route, you can't just do that. You need to be doing other things in addition to that. Otherwise, I think you're just wasting your opportunities. All right. So one thing we're going to be talking about today is like, what's your budget, right? And how much are you willing to spend each month to be consistent in this space? Because statistically, it's going to take about 18 months to get a quote unquote lead, right? So it's an upfront game, right? I get to sit down and talk to agents every single day, and I could share with you the story of the agent who tried farming and did all the things and it didn't work for them. And I could share with you the story of the agent who did farming for a month and got a listing out of it. So it's just interesting how there's both sides to this coin. A lot of the big teams that I work with, they're big fans of farming. And if they're doing farming, they've been doing it for 5, 10, 15 years. I'm going to share with you what they're doing that is effective. But it's short summaries. It's going to come down to who are you targeting? What are you sending? What are you doing in the neighborhood? What events are you doing? And we're going to cover all of that. All right. But real estate farming, right, is more than just direct mail. It's anything from events, door knocking, hosting open houses, right? Social media, which we'll talk about in a little bit. How can we hit them on all these different channels? I talk about this in all my other classes. Is we want to hit them on as many channels as we can, because all I know, if I'm farming a neighborhood and Renee lives there and I send her a mailer, she's thrown in the trash, right? We're all different how we do that. I'll give you this example. If you send a mailer to my house, which I get like 10 of them a month from real estate agents, I love looking at them. I love looking at them, analyzing them. If I get the mail, but if my wife gets the mail, guess where they're going? It's going right in the trash. Not even going to be seen, right? If I get them, though, I want to read them and look at them. But again, it comes down to, right, who are you targeting? There's also a little bit of, I think, like a demographic play into that. And maybe it's subjective, but it's like, who's more likely to look at direct mail? Is it an older demographic? Is it a younger demographic? I don't know the answer. Just something to think about. Also, when we go through this, it's going to be, I got kicked out. It's going to be numbers as well as actual like quantitative and qualitative. So that means like we're going to look at, does it make sense to like mail and farm in this area? But then also too, like from a qualitative perspective, can you connect with these people in this neighborhood, right? Like, can you help empty nesters, or can you help move up buyers who are going to sell and buy? Like that has to match into as well your equation of where you're farming. And then in addition to that, we also have to think about, where are you farming? Is it near you? Are you going to be in that area? How often are you going to be in that area? So there's a lot of factors at play here. And unfortunately, when I meet with a lot of agents who are farming, they skipped all that. They just like went for it and started spending money. And yeah, I think the starting up analyzing part is not very exciting, but it's so important, right? So the last thing I want you all to do is waste your money and just gamble. So we're going to try to avoid gambling. At the end of the day, I do think farming is gambling, right? Like at the end of the day, we're just rolling the dice, right? But we can leverage like the best data and the best marketing campaigns to give you the best odds to hopefully get deals, if that makes sense. Okay, right? So consistency, right? Consistent. I think if you're going to go into this, at a minimum 12 months, every single month. Statistically, it's every 3 weeks, all right? Every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks. If you're mailing, you want to send something. Otherwise, I would just say don't do it, right? And again, this is on the taking over a neighborhood campaign, right? General marketing, higher engagement, relevance in a focused area, market expertise. We're going to dive into some more examples of all this. Okay, so choosing your farm area. Does anyone thinking about farming know where they want to farm or think they know where they want to farm? It's a start. That's good. Okay. So if we have an idea, fantastic. What we want to do is we want to look at turnover rate and values. And we just want to like back into some simple math into like, does it even make sense to farm here and spend money on this property? And how many homes do I need to sell to break even and then make money in this neighborhood so it all makes sense? So what are we going to look at here? Right, we're going to look at, again, quantitative and qualitative perspectives of a specific neighborhood. So let's set some boundaries and let's do one. So turnover ratio, straight simple, it's the percentage of homes sold in a given area over a specific period. Usually we look at the past year. So in the past 12 months, if we're farming 300 homes and 10 sold, right, what turnover ratio are we looking at? Turnover ratio is a subjective number, right? Everyone has their opinion on it. Of course, a higher turnover ratio indicates that there's going to be more active homes selling within that past, let's say, year, right, versus a lower number. Okay, calculating turnover ratio is just the number of homes sold in the year, right, divided by the number of homes in that entire area. So what we want to look at here for turnover ratio, general rule of thumb, we're going to look at 6% or higher, okay? Again, that's subjective, but I think at a minimum, if you had something to go for, 6% or higher in a specific neighborhood. Now, again, that's subjective to the point of, I'll give you an example. I've got an agent that I work with that farms a neighborhood where the average price point is over $1 million, but the turnover ratio is 4%. She's a risk taker. She's like, I know there's less homes selling here. I just need to get one. I'm gonna make a lot of money, right? I understand the turnover ratio is lower, but that's okay with me, right? Whereas on the other side of the spectrum, you could have a very high turnover ratio, but you could have a lower price point per home, so you just have to sell more homes. So you have to think about that, analyze that, and decide where you want your risk tolerance to be when it comes to analyzing a neighborhood for farming. Okay. Average sales price, right? We're gonna look at sales price, we're gonna look at median sales price, and we're gonna actually walk through an example here on what this looks like. But I would always encourage you, like, back into your numbers, right? If you looked at the average sale price in a neighborhood and it's 500,000 and you sell that, what's your take-home amount that you're gonna take home, right? And take that into consideration when you're setting up your budget for how much you're going to spend every single month if you're gonna do this. And just like say, I'm gonna commit to this, I'm gonna spend this amount of money, okay? Using turnover ratios and sale prices, right? We're getting through this. One other point I want to point out here before I forget on turnover ratio is watch out for inflated turnover ratio numbers. Sometimes I'll have agents call me up. I found this like gem of a neighborhood. Turnover ratio is 25%. It's a gold mine. There's no one farming it. That's probably a neighborhood where they have new build communities and they're being sold like literally every other day. And it's inflating, it's artificially inflating that turnover ratio. So chances are if you have one that high, look at like when they're selling and when they were built, and it might be a new build community. And if you do find 25%, keep that to yourself if it's real. That's a gold mine, okay? All right, so now we're gonna talk about Title Toolbox. So what this is, like I said, you can pull data on any type of property within the United States of America. It's not just Colorado, it's the entire United States. You can access data anywhere. You can pull phone numbers, you can pull emails, you can pull homes most likely to sell, you can map out areas, you can pull, of course, your basic mailing addresses, you can do tons of filtering ideas. I'm gonna share some with you today and we're gonna dive into it, okay? So here on this screen, I've got a screenshot of Title Toolbox. I actually mapped out a little area down below, way down there. And we're gonna walk through kind of some ways of how we could analyze this specific neighborhood if it made sense for us to farm within this specific spot. How we operate Title Toolbox when we log in, I will get you all access, just check the box to get access to it. What we can do is under the statistics tab, we can actually look at an area and we can also look at the statistics behind a specific area and see what the turnover ratio is, what the median sale price is, etc. Okay, we can do this in a number of different ways. We can do a wide radius. We could do a very specific boundary search, right? We could do a vague area search. For those of you that want to consider farming and you have no idea where you're going to farm, a great solution for you is just to do a vague area search. And you can pull a very large area and then literally filter different neighborhoods based off of turnover ratio. And like if you just wanted to just cherry pick the highest one, go for it and go that way. It will just list them all out, all right? But what this filtering looks like is once we select the area that we want, we can see turnover ratio, right? We can see, wow, 1.8 million average price. All right, cool. We can see number of sales, number of homes, what percent is non-owner occupied. That's another factor to consider when we're analyzing the data, right? Is if we're going to mail to these people and 20% of these properties are non-owner, do we want to hit those? Do we want to filter them out, right? Some agents say, I want to filter them out. They're not worth my time. Or I mail to the person out of state. Or I want to hit that home because maybe that person in there is renting and maybe they are a buyer, right? So there's two sides of that coin on which way you want to play it. You have to decide for yourself what you want to do. Okay, competition. I think this gets overmissed. This takes you 5 minutes to do and you should do this, all right? So once you've decided on where your hypothetical farm area is, we can log into the good old MLS, all right? Hopefully y'all are familiar with this. All we gotta do is we gotta log in, we go to the search tab, and I like to look at anything that has gone active, pending, or closed within the last 3 years. So you can see here, I pulled it off of days, about 1,100 days in the past time frame. And then up here, we can click on the mapping function. When we click on that mapping function, it allows us to now draw out our specific neighborhood area. We can use the polygon tool, map out this specific area, and we can actually then analyze all of the properties that have sold, got under contract, or are active within that neighborhood, okay? Then within here, once we pull all that data, you can see here it says 94 properties. We can add tabs to the MLS. Everyone know this? You can add tabs. It's not very intuitive, but you can actually click on any tab up top. And when you click on it, there's an insert column option, and you can add columns to the data that is provided, all right? So the one that I would like to add if I want to analyze my competition is listing agent full name, all right? So now we can see every listing agent within that area, and then we can click on it. It's going to sort it alphabetically A to Z. So now we know, all right, how many, right, is Courtney selling in this neighborhood, all right? Now you have an idea of who your competition is. Does someone dominate? General rough rule of thumb, if an agent has more than 20, 25% market share within the neighborhood, statistically, it's going to be harder to break into. I've actually, like, in all these years of analyzing these, I have yet to see that where someone like truly dominates a neighborhood, but it's definitely something to take your time and look at and just make sure. Then also too, right, this is just good to know. So now we can go spy on other agents and see what they're doing, right? And now we know who we're up against, okay? Cool, good? Good. This making sense? Okay. Budget. How much are we gonna spend? That's for you to decide, right? The number of times I'll get hit with, hey, give me a farm list for this area. I'm like, all right, cool. Well, like, I always say, how much do you want to spend? Because that's where it always starts, right? Rough math, like if you're going to spend, say, $1 a mailer, right? How many homes do you want to hit? How much do you want to spend every single month? If it's just, say, at a minimum, $1 a home, right? Now that doesn't even take into consideration running Facebook ads or doing events or other stuff. You're gonna have to up that budget per home, right? Into that price point that you want. But simple math, let's just say it's $1 a home. How many homes do you want to hit? Rough metrics, again, it just comes back to how aggressive do you want to be. Most agents start off, say, whatever, 150, 250, 300 homes. That's what I see a lot. But again, it just comes down to how aggressive is your stance and how much risk tolerance do you have with how big of an area do you want to hit. Okay. Good, good, straightforward. All right. Timing, frequency. 3 to 5 weeks is optimal, right? Once a month is usually what most agents do. Okay. Milestones, easy stuff. Holidays, seasonal market updates, local events, great opportunities to send targeted mailers. Agents report that sending mail consistently every month to the same area can lead to response rates of roughly 1 to 2%. But this is, again, is a vague number. And it's going to come down to, I think, what you're sending and the data, which we're going to talk about here in a couple slides. Okay, so this is pretty cool. Anyone see this? How a fake real estate agent became #1 in 8 weeks? All right, watch this, guys. This is pretty neat.
So there was a group of people that did this research project where it shows a community of homes. They went to this community, they knocked on every home, so every homeowner, and asked them the question, who's the real estate agent here? After they got through, they had a myriad of different answers, but it was a bunch of different agents, not one single
It's getting a
agent.
little laggy, but I'll just summarize it for you. Basically, they knocked on every home. They didn't said no one had a specific answer on who was the number one agent. So here's what they did. They made up a fictitious real estate agent. And for the next 8 weeks, they mailed something every single week to these people, came back, surveyed the homeowners, and they're like, yeah, obviously this person, the fake agent, right? So all this proves, guys, is like that level of consistency matters, right? Every single week for 8 weeks, like you're top of mind. Of course, that's an expensive budget to send every single week, right? So that's, of course, unrealistic for most of us in the room. But the point is consistency pays off, all right? So like, again, that threshold is 3 to 4 weeks, once a month minimum, all right? That's the takeaway. But pretty cool how they just made up a fake agent. Beginner steps, right? Define your brand. What are you sending? What's your value proposition? What stuff do you want to send? And then also too, like how much effort do you want to put in this? Because we're going to talk about this later. Is like you can send very, very defined, specific, laser targeted mailers that are going to take more time because you're going to have to do them one by one. Or you can send more of like a blanket mailer. There's programs where it's set it and forget it, right? It's going to send something that's pretty good, but just blanket sends out. So we're going to talk about both, right? And then again, this gets back to the qualitative side of analyzing a neighborhood. Who's your audience, right? Is it young families? Is it empty nesters? Is it move-up sellers? Can you relate with them, right? Can you connect with them? This is also going to determine your events, right? Like me, I've got 3 little kids, right? Twin girls are 2. My son's almost 4. And if you're a realtor doing an event in my neighborhood, first of all, thank you. That'd be amazing because my wife and I are always looking for stuff to do. But guess what? It's got to be for kids. Otherwise, we're not going to go to it, right? We're always looking for stuff to do, but it's like, what can we do to get out of the house and bring the kids? Gosh, especially right now, the wintertime, and it's cold and you're all cooped up and like they're just ripping apart the house. It's like, what can we do? Where can we go? Please do an event for kids. I'd love to be there. All right. But that's something to take into consideration. What's that? Yeah, sometimes we just leave them and see what happens. Totally. Right? Young families, empty nesters. Think about who the demographics are. If you need help with pulling specific demographics, I can help you with that too. All right. But that's just as important, right? And that also comes back to like, who do you connect with? Who's your avatar? Who's your ideal client that you like working with? Think about that. So direct mail, how much do you want to spend on mailers, right? Automated versus personalized, laser targeted. Basic online presence though, now switching gears over to like a little bit of an online presence. And again, like tapping into different channels, direct mail, in-person, open houses, door knocking, social media. Launch a community-focused social media account. I only know one agent who is like crushing it in farming and doing this. And he created an entire Instagram account of everything going on in the neighborhood, a little bit of real estate stuff in there. But it's also like things going on in the neighborhood. It's spotlights on local businesses. Guys, the more you can like really like plan this out and get involved with like the local businesses and do stuff with them and spotlight them, it's such a win-win. It's going to pay off, right? And for me, right, if you were offering this in my neighborhood, you're darn right I want to follow you, engage, and know what's going on next. All right. Just please do me a favor and just don't, if you're going to do this, just don't do house. Okay. Because no one wants to see like a whole feed of just houses. We want to see stuff that's of value that we can look at, that we can save, that we can share with our friends and engage with. Right. So again, anything from local news, maintenance tips, insights, right? We obviously have to sprinkle some real estate in there, but of course we don't want to shove it down their throat. Okay. Beyond that, there's Instagrams. There's also, of course, Facebook pages, which is a huge win. I would go both routes, do Facebook page and Instagram. Try to friend the people in your neighborhood, get them to follow. You can even have a QR code on mailers, inviting them to follow your account or like your Facebook page to stay engaged with things going on in the neighborhood. I've seen this really be successful with some agents, with some neighborhoods, okay? It just comes back to how much you want to leverage it, right? But what's cool about like once we tap into getting them as an Instagram follower or liking our Facebook page, we can then run custom audience ads to them. And then now also hit them with ads on Facebook and Instagram. And they can't escape. They're stuck forever within our reach. All right. Google Business Profile, which we'll be talking about next month. All right. This is like a high level advanced idea. But if you're really like gung ho 100% into your neighborhood, there's some things you can do to leverage your Google business profile to have it focus within that area, the geographic boundaries of where you want it to be, certain keywords you can use within that neighborhood, right? If I was targeting, say, whatever, Sloan's Lake, I could use that as Sloan's Lake Realtor. I can add these keywords into my Google business profile, which, stay tuned, we will talk about in the next class if you decide to show up. All right. We can even do more advanced things. We can do geotagging to locations of the neighborhood, blah, 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 blah. It gets really specific. But again, very few people doing this, and it just comes back to like, how hard do you want to push it? Okay. Events. I feel like at a minimum, if you're going to farm and you're going to spend the money on the mailers or do stuff, at a minimum, I think you should do at least 4 events a year, right? So once a quarter. All right. Now, here's the deal. Like, these events don't have to break the bank. It doesn't have to be a ton of money. All right. There are things you can do where it's very low cost, right? So this could be anything from, oh, look at that. We got a little handout, 50 event ideas, but just some ideas, right? If there's a park nearby, right? It's probably like a free public park. You could host some sort of event. Summertime, you could bring in lawn games. You could go get food and drinks, have a cooler, right? And then just invite people, post up there for the entire afternoon. People can come on out, right? You could do that once a month. You could even involve your sphere in that, bring them in, right? Bring the farm in, like anything you do outside, right? Again, this comes back to like, who's in the neighborhood, right? I've seen, there's this team I work with down in Colorado Springs that just crushes it with their farm. And it's all young families. So they're doing anything from Easter egg hunt in the spring. Guys, how cheap is that? Buy some plastic eggs and go hide them in the park. It's like the easiest thing to do. It's so low cost, right? To, what, are we getting photos with Santa? Are we hiring a photographer? There's this one team that I work with every quarter. They're doing, it's not just for their farm, it's for all of their clients. Every quarter, they've got a photographer that comes in and they have it at a park or somewhere inside, outside. People can sign up, plug in 15-minute brackets to have time with that photographer, get family photos, whatever, right? I just think that stuff's cool, especially like for me, I get a photo, I print it out, or they give it to me, and then I always think of them when I look at that photo, all right? We got Santa Claus, we got pies, we got canned food drive. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. You can do anything, okay? Check that box. If you want 50 event ideas, we'll send them to you, all right? Goals of open houses. So now let's chat open houses and farming, right? Of course, we want to build rapport, not be over salesy, have sales breath commission, and try to gather leads from open houses. Does anyone love doing open houses?
No.
Some people crush open houses. Yeah, that's right. I get it. It's just like it's prospecting, right? We pick and choose what we like. Some of us love it, some of us don't, right? Right. But again, we want to have something where we can, of course, capture their information. If they're going to go in the open house, you decide your style, whether it's a sign-up sheet, whether it's, hey, you got to sign in. The seller says you got to sign in. Security reasons, you got to sign in. Hey, we're doing a raffle. We're doing a giveaway, right? We got to capture their information somehow, whether it's straight up asking for it or we have a lead magnet. One agent I know, she always prints out all of the open houses going on in the area. And she has that as a lead magnet where she can share when she's having conversations. Hey, what's your phone number? Here's a list of all the open houses going on this weekend. Here you go, right? How are we going to, again, get their information, build rapport, then get to that one-on-one and have more of a conversation with them if they're looking to buy, of course, right? So popping over to pre-open house marketing for maximum reach. If you are doing open houses or you're taking over open houses for someone else and you really want to leverage them to the max, so many things we can do, right? Of course, we can do micro farming campaigns. We can do direct mail blitzes. Of course, we got to plan ahead and get these out enough in time to get them printed and sent so that they actually show up. And then people still have enough time to decide whether or not they're going to actually go. They don't have plans yet. Social media announcements, if you leverage social media, of course. And then a huge one that I love is email invitations. Does anyone use Eventbrite? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, Eventbrite. It's where I do all my stuff, all my events. I know some of you got the Eventbrite emails from me, but I think Eventbrite is an untapped gold mine. The reason why is you can sign up for a free account and you could create your open house as an event on Eventbrite, right? Upload a photo, whatever, name it, sell it, make it look good. But what's cool is then Eventbrite, with the free account, they let you send up to 250 emails per day to blast out the open house. All right. Now, why is this important? Why does this matter? Eventbrite, this comes back to email marketing and like people seeing your emails. And for whatever reason, Eventbrite is very, very good at getting emails of people who you never talk to, like say cold email addresses, and getting your email in front of them into their primary inbox and them clicking on it and seeing that email. Okay. So idea here, if you wanted to leverage this, you could tap into that Title Toolbox system. You could pull that neighborhood that you want to email out to. You could purchase the phone numbers at 7 cents a record, download the emails, upload them into here, and then email blast the open house out to the entire neighborhood. Okay. Idea. All right. Very, very inexpensive to do. Very, very effective. Okay. So that's how we can leverage Eventbrite. Okay. We can enforce other things. We can add it to Facebook. We can share it. We can do the old school door knocking flyers. But again, it comes back to how hard do you want to hit the neighborhood? That's a super easy one. Another idea, you could even tap into, like if you've got an agent list of real estate agents that might have potential buyers, you could email blast them as well, right? And reverse prospect. This is how this works. Eventbrite. You can see I'm a big fan. Sent over, wow, 1.2 million emails delivered. With open rate, again, like I don't know what the average open rate with email is, but it's very, very low. This one, we've got over 50%. Guess who I send emails to? List of real estate agents, right? It does a very good job. So this is Eventbrite. Don't sleep on this if you want to do anything, whether it's events in the neighborhood, open houses, etc. I think it's a huge opportunity. A little bit of sweat equity, very, very expensive to do. Does anybody use HomeBot? 1, 2, 3. Opinions on HomeBot? We always got people that love it, people that hate it. Any haters? Any HomeBot haters today? No? Okay. Here's my opinion, guys. There's tons of these valuation systems out there, right? HomeBot being one of them. None of them are perfect, all right? And that's usually the complaint, right? The value is wrong. Yeah, of course the value is wrong. That's why they need you to give them a CMA, and you have the opportunity to meet with them to then give them an accurate value of their property. But these are great touch points. HomeBot is a great solution for you. If you want a quick, easy monthly email that you have to put zero effort in and have it reach your people, it's great. What it is, real fast, is you take this system as a real estate agent. You can literally just do it for $25 a month. Every $25, you can upload up to 500 contacts, and you upload their name, their address into the system. HomeBot will then take that information and literally send a personal analyzed email every month to them based on their property, right? And it's, in my opinion, it's fun little stuff to look at. This is how much equity you have. This is how much you paid down. Does it make sense to refinance right now? Probably not, right? Can we take this money? How else can we use this money if we sold today, right? And then they dangle little carrots in there, like in there it says tune value. So if you disagree with something, you click that button, right? It's going to notify the agent. And every time someone's interacting with this on the front end, you as the real estate professional on the back end, you have the analytics behind, is someone opening the email? Are they engaging with it? Are they clicking on it? Okay, so super easy email newsletter for $25 a month. You can't beat this in my opinion. Think of it as a touch point that is putting you in front of them, and people look at this stuff. I used to have a buddy that worked at HomeBot for like 6 years. He said their open rate is like 80%. Like it's insanely high. People look at this stuff because it's personal to them and their home, and they want to know. All right. So if you're not using it, check it out. They're actually a partner of ours. If you type in that promo code, you'll skip the setup fee and just pay $25 a month and go crazy. All right. Now, how do we do this when it comes to farming? Same concept, right? We can use Title Toolbox. We can go in there, pull all the emails. This just comes back to really how aggressive you want to be. Some people are more aggressive than others, right? If you want to be super aggressive, upload the emails into HomeBot. Now every single person is getting a specific HomeBot email from you, right? With this, of course, you're always probably going to get the people that say unsubscribe, whatever, right? We remove them and then we move on with our lives and we try to get more deals. Questions so far? Yes.
So lender co-sponsor, do you know what that cost is for lender?
Yeah, the lender gets hit. That's how they make their money, is off the lenders. The lender, I think it's a $200 setup fee. And then the lender pays also $25 a month per agent last time I checked. But a little secret about this is you technically don't have to have a lender sponsor. They always sell it as you have to, but really you don't need to have one. And you can go to the website, you can sign up with the promo code, skip the setup fee, and move past the lender sponsor option. Yep, good question. Okay, advanced tips to maximize open house impact in your farm area, right? We can hit them with a neighborhood only preview. My opinion of the open house, right? The statistics are very low. The likelihood that someone is actually going to walk in and say, this is the home. It's like 1%. It's very, very low, right? We're doing the open houses to try to find buyers, but then also, again, keep in mind and stay in front of the neighborhood. Hey, I'm the go-to real estate agent. Think of me. Look what I'm doing for Sally down the street. Let me help you, Courtney. You're next, right? So we want to impress them and invite them only. One thing we could do is a neighborhood-only preview event, right? Maybe you do it the day before, the night before your actual public open house. Set it at a specific time frame. One strategy is to have it at a very limited time. Maybe it's like everyone show up between this time and this time for an hour and get everyone in there buzzing, talking about the place, right? Ask them, hey, who do you want your neighbor to be? Who do you want to live here? Do you know anyone, right? Leverage that, leverage the neighbors within the neighborhood. So not only would I be doing a neighborhood only open house event, but then I'd also be doing a public open house event, right? Live stream, who's doing live videos? Yes, yes. I still think live videos today here in 2025 are so untapped. And I think the organic engagement, I mean, every time someone goes live I get a notification on my phone. I think it's so untapped. And such an easy place to start with live video is just, hey, here's the house. Here's the bathroom, right? Like, you don't have to do anything. You just have to walk through it and show them, right? And then people get notified. Again, it's a great top of mind idea, right? So stream a virtual live tour on social media, share the recording with local groups, right? Get exposure for yourself selfishly, right? You're going to, of course, reach a ton of people organically when you go live with that live video, because guess what? Live video is still scary. And we all still say the same thing. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. What if I make a mistake? It's okay. We're all human. All right. And of course, gather feedback, right? We want to, of course, improve our open houses. This comes back to your strategy. There's tons of strategies on the open house. I got one agent lender partner that love doing open houses, and they always do like an Amazon gift card giveaway. I forget the amount, but they always say that they're like, and guess who gets the Amazon gift card? Because you go in, you fill out, hey, I'm a buyer. Am I working with a real estate agent? Yes or no? The answer is every single person that says they're not working with a real estate agent wins the Amazon gift card. And they have to sit down with them one-on-one to get the gift card, right? They got to meet with them, and that's their lead system. Isn't that good? Solid. Take it. Run with it. Okay. Reality of offers from open houses. That number is really, I don't even believe that number, but apparently only 7% of buyers find their home through an open house. Huh. Okay. 1 to 2% of attendees typically make an offer on the home they tour. Open houses are more effective for lead generation than direct sales. I think that's debatable. It all comes down to how well you work them and how well you prep and prepare and how much time you have to promote them. So let's talk about ads. Okay. So Google ads. We got to get this class on the books. This is a class I just started teaching this year because Google ads are basically Facebook ads like 7 years ago. All right. Facebook ads, right? We talked about this in the last class. Anything housing related, it's a minimum of a 15-mile radius. Google ads, we can tap into as close as a 1-mile radius or even better, privacy safe neighborhoods. So there are a ton of neighborhoods that Google has said you can run ads in this little tiny area, right? Like even smaller than a mile. So maybe your neighborhood is in that privacy safe area and you can run ads just to that neighborhood. What does that mean for you? It means your budget to spend money is very, very small because it's so defined, okay? You can target homeowners. You can target people who are currently looking to move. They are actively looking to move and find a home, okay? You can target renters. For those of you, if you're ever doing like a first-time home buyer class, right? The hardest part is finding those people that are renting and getting them in the room. You can target renters, all right? You can do moving soon, purchasing soon, and these Google ads are very, very inexpensive. You can run all sorts of stuff. So just something to think about. We're not going to get deep into Google ads, but it's very, very untapped. Truthfully, just because people don't know how to do them until this year, because I'm teaching you how to do them. So stay tuned. Facebook ads, right? This is the loophole. We talked about this in the last class. Quick refresher. What we do is we go into that Title Toolbox system. We purchase the phone numbers and the email addresses, all right? We then take that data, and guess what? What's so cool is Title Toolbox actually has an export option for you to literally download all the data perfectly formatted for running ads on Facebook. You click that button, download it, take that CSV file, upload it into Meta, the back end of Facebook. You can now run ads to anyone that matches up with his contact information, right? Because when Renee creates a Facebook or Instagram account, his provider phone number and email address. We're just reverse engineering finding Renee with the data that we have. And now we can run very, very low cost targeted ads to just this specific list of people. In this scenario, it's going to be anyone in that farming neighborhood.
Are
Okay.
you gonna send this out with a little click here
Sure.
thing?
Yeah. What is that? Click here for a walkthrough. Oh, get that. Click here. I didn't even know I did that. Good. I made this really late at night. Look at that. All right. Yeah, sure. Guys, is there a checkbox on there for that? What is that? Walkthrough. Now, what? Yeah, just I'll send it out. Cool. Thank you. We're paying attention. I like it. All right. Questions on this? Good. Cool. All right. Any questions on the Zoom? Silence over there? Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
Do you have any suggestions about what that ad looked like?
I do. I have a great suggestion. That ad should be you, should be a video of you, literally in that neighborhood. Ideally somewhere where the background is somewhere recognizable, whether it's like a park or 2 cross streets or something, right? So when anyone who watches it knows exactly where you are. And then it's you saying like, hey, whatever, Cherry Creek neighbors, whatever, neighborhood neighbors, right? Calling that person out. That way every single person seeing that is like, oh my goodness, like he's in my neighborhood. How does he's talking to me. Like that is a very engaging ad, right? That's what I would do. Yeah. And repeat that. Video, real estate stuff. It could be stuff of value. It could be market stat. It could be anything you want. But I think being in that neighborhood, calling out the homeowners in that neighborhood is very, very effective and targeted. Yeah. Questions? Answer good? Cool. Okay. Oops. Let's talk about direct mail. So we can do personalized direct mail. We can do seasonal stuff. We can track stuff. We can go laser targeted. This just comes back to how much effort you want to put in this. So you have to ask yourself, when I get busy in the spring, is this going to fall to the side, right? Am I still going to do this? Because we are all going to get busy when the market heats up later this year. And we need to have systems in place to make sure that all of this is still happening. So how much time do you want to spend? I'm going to share with you both options. The easy set it and forget it, and then the more laser targeted. All right, so here we go. My favorite automated direct mail companies. These are some of them. All right, CoreFact, Robot Inc., Thanks.io, Boomerang, White Knight. I've got a slide for each. So let's talk about CoreFact. Okay, CoreFact is going to be the HomeBot of direct mail. All right, so what I like about CoreFact, they do a ton of stuff. The number one thing I like is this specific mailer. What it is it's a custom mailer for every home you send, right? So if I'm the real estate agent and I send this mailer to Courtney at 123 Banana Street, Courtney, it's going to say, hey, Courtney, are you curious how much, is that me or is that someone talking? Hey, Courtney, how much is this home worth? And it's literally going to be Courtney's home lit up on this map like this with any properties that have actually sold in the last 12 months, literally lit up on the map. Like it's very, very targeted just to Courtney, okay? You can word it however you want. You can change it, but this is the gist of it, right? And then scan this QR code to get a free estimate. If they scan that QR code, guess what happens? They'll get like a value range. Again, these aren't perfect. None of them are. But what's cool is me as a real estate agent, anyone who scans this QR code, I get an email notification that says, hey, 123 Main Street scanned it, right? 456 Banana Street scanned it. I know exactly who mailed it. And then if I really want to take it to the next level, I could then have a whole campaign set up where now I'm like reaching out to that person, sending them an 8x8. I can do so many things to try to hone in on those specific people. So that's how we're leveraging data to our advantage to also stay in front of these people. Has anyone used CoreFact? Nobody. Anybody heard of CoreFact? Crazy. Okay, just making sure I'm on mute here. I think I am. Okay, moving on. So that's CoreFact. What you're paying for is, of course, the landing page and the customization. It's not going to be your cheapest mailer out there. Based off of this screenshot, what are we looking at? Jumbo mailer, we're going to spend, let's say, $100 to $500. If we did standard mail, we're going to do, it's not bad, 89 cents a mailer. Okay. Wonder if that's an old screenshot. Inflation. Didn't the post office go up again?
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay. So that's actually not bad at all. That seems low for a custom mailer. But if that's a set and forget it option, right? You can do it. They say 2 to 5% response rate. Very user-friendly website. Robot Inc. I found about these guys through an Instagram ad. This was started by a bunch of wholesalers and flippers somewhere in the Midwest, and they claim a very high open rate. But what they do is if you want to spend more money, they send an envelope with realistic looking handwriting, return to sender and self-address, and then an American flag stamp on there in the white envelope. And then within the letter, you can have it say whatever you want, right? But like it all, again, getting back to like, if we send mailers, these are the challenges we have to overcome. One, like if I get the mailer, first of all, do I receive it? Two is when I pull it out, like, do I even look at it? Do I even open at it, right? And then three is if I look at it, is there a call to action on there? There should be. What is the call to action? Is it call me right now? Is there a QR code, right? I would vote for having at least a QR code in addition to your contact information, like all the options, because everyone likes to communicate in different means of communication. But those are the steps we have to overcome. But they swear by a very high open and response rate, and it's something different versus your typical mailer. So if you're looking for something different, I know some investors that leverage this strategy, and they like to do this because it's that handwritten cursive writing. They use robots with pens to write it all out and make it look realistic. Thanks.io. This is the one I personally have used. Back during COVID, I was sending mailers to agents for a year. It was pretty fun. But what they're known for is basically think of like CoreFact and the tracking. But the problem with CoreFact is they only let you use your trackable QR code for a home valuation. And they don't let you control sending that person to anywhere else on the internet. So then I found this one, thanks.io, where I can take that QR code and I can send them to my website or to a video or to a lead magnet to have them plug in their information. I can control where that QR code goes. It's still a custom mailer for every single mailer, but then I also have the tracking on who's scanning this stuff, who's looking at it, okay? So thanks.io, postcards, note cards, letters, gift cards. Does anyone send gift cards? If you send gift cards, this is a no in the mail. This is a no-brainer for you because anyone know like what the stat is? It's like over like $1 billion of abandoned gift cards that don't get used. It's obnoxious, or they get lost. I mean, I'm included. We got like a stack of gift cards I found like above the fridge on Saturday. I'm like, what are you doing up here, right? But like for you, if you send gift cards, this will actually probably save you money statistically because what they do is you can send like a letter or a postcard and there's this QR code on there and you can have it set up for like anything you want, but they have to scan it and essentially like add it into their account in order for you to get charged for the gift card. So instead of you spending the money up front, just mailing these things out and them getting lost, you're not gonna get charged until they actually redeem it and add it, okay? So something different. So thanks.io, and then they've got that funky looking handwriting. You could have it be legible, you could have it look funky. Some of them look pretty darn realistic, which is kind of crazy. So this is thanks.io. This is, all right, now let's talk about like leveraging some data and like some automated campaigns, right? So this is going to tie into, let's just talk about your sphere real quick, right? How can we be more thoughtful with mailers? One idea is we can send birthday mailers. I've done this before. And we can have those birthday mailers arrive a few days before their birthday. That way you're the first to get to them. And how we do this is if you don't have everyone's birthdays, if you're hopefully friends with them on Facebook, you can actually, there's a way you can download all of your Facebook friends' birthday into a spreadsheet. You can then upload that data into a system like thanks.io. And you can set up mailers to go out with a happy birthday of you and have them automatically go out on autopilot, right? So I made this like super cheesy happy birthday 15-second video, whatever. And I sent it out for like a year over COVID to people. And again, I just try things so I can share them with you. But it worked. It was really cool. And people would respond. So if you wanted to like automate out happy birthdays, that's one way you could do it. Now taking this over to the farming side, another thing you could do, this is a whole different strategy, but you could tap into Title Toolbox and you could pull, say, an area and you could pull all of the days that they purchased their property. And you could send home anniversary mailers, right? And offer like an updated market analysis. I know there's an agent that actually does this. He will like literally just send home anniversary mailers on repeat. And again, this is how you could automate that out. You download the data, upload it into here, and send those out. Boomerang. Anyone using Boomerang? Heard of it? Yeah? Love it? Hate it?
Love it.
Love it? Good?
My clients are upset occasionally if their snowbirds and they come back and they're missing a couple of boomerangs, which is great because it gives you the opportunity to know that she'll only get those for you.
Yep.
Boomerang's super cool. They're pretty cool over here. They'll give me a couple extra and I can drive them over.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I love that.
Great value.
Yeah, I think this is great. I know a ton of agents that send these to their Sphere, right? Database. Once a month mailers with local freebie, buy one, get one, coupons, things going on. I have agents that send them to me for where I live, and they're like, actually, like some of them are really good, like very good value, high quality. It's not like super cheesy stuff. So I'm impressed. And I guess what I do? I put it up on the fridge and I say, I'm going to use this. There's one on the fridge right now. Blue Island oyster. It's like $35 free entree. I just need to go there, but I probably won't. It's going to expire at the end of the month. But guess what? I put it up there. I put one up there every month and I see their face. It's so effective. These are a little bit more. I want to say they're like, what, $1.15 a mailer or somewhere. Okay, there you go. Somewhere around $1. But again, like,
I mean, they're beautiful. Full color. They're this big.
yeah.
They stick out.
Yeah, they stick out. They're personable, right? They're effective.
So
Yep.
your database, they're fantastic.
Yep. Thank you. White Knight Marketing, okay? They're local. They've been around for a long time. I know a ton of agents that work with them. WhiteKnightMD.com. These are going to be if you wanted like the local things to do in the Front Range of Colorado, right? So we got Farmers Market, Colorado State Parks, Rockies schedule, holidays, Explore Colorado, events. Again, these are, people see these, they put them up on the fridge, they see you, they see your name, they see your face, right? If they look at it, right, they can plan out stuff that they want to do. White Knight is doing this from a local automated perspective, right? So if you wanted this, set it and forget it, they send them out for you. It's a little bit, that's a lot. The colors, creative direct mail ideas. Do you have more time to laser target? Okay. All right. So here's some random ideas that I've heard. A lot of these are through Tom Ferry. So huge shout out to Tom Ferry and that ecosystem. I'm a big fan of them and involved with them and listen to all those podcasts. But there's this one agent that was up on stage, and what she does from like a laser target perspective is she will send out mailers. And it all comes back to like, again, we need people to open and look at these things, right? Does it look different? So she sends out black envelope, gold Sharpie, right? It looks like an invitation. Who isn't going to open that, right? This takes time. She's writing these out, but she swears that it gets her more business, right? And within that, you control what you want. Is it a letter? Is it something that you're writing out? Is it something where it's a CMA? Is it, you know, whatever you want, you put it in there. But if you want something to get opened, she swears by black envelope, gold Sharpie. All right, now I'm going to give you a ton of ideas. I'm just going to roll through these, okay, on like what you can send for like highly effective mailers. These take time though. This is something that like you have to print and do and write out or have someone help you or hire someone to help you, right? So you've got the ZMA, right? So this is hit hard in the Tom Ferry ecosystem. But you can do this in a number of different ways, whether it's mailers, text, social media. But basically what you're doing, like from a mailer perspective, is you're printing out the quote unquote estimate for a home, right? You're circling it or you're putting an X through it. You take it a step further, you put a sticky note on there and you write something like, I've got my opinion, what's yours, right? And you're basically hooking them into the ZMA is wrong, right? ZMA sticky note, would you consider selling for 10% more than this? If so, text me, right? And this is what Connie's doing. She's hitting them on with a text message, all right? And this stuff is working. I know tons of agents that have done this. They've tracked this. This is something that works. You just have to do it, okay? Right? You can see success stories. I have 80 letters in the last month, just received my first come list me as I sit right here, right? Would you consider selling for 10% more than this? Call or text. This is the exact ad copy right here. This is what you do, okay? This is what people are doing and it's actually getting them business, okay? All of this, by the way, I got to give credit to Jimmy Mackin and Tom Ferry. This is all from their resource, which they shared actually on all of this. It's called listingleads.com. If you're looking for like constant ideas from a social media campaign, texting campaign, mailing campaign, whether it's to your sphere or to your neighborhood, they've got a service called listingleads.com that you can sign up and get tons of ideas to help you with marketing. All right. Anything from emails to letters, right? So again, this is just hitting hard in this estimate, but I want to just share with you that this stuff is working. All right. I know we're running out of time here, so I'm going to click through these slides, right? But this also transfers over into a phone call script, right? You can see here, I'll share these slides with you guys. You can go through them if you want to use them, right? There's texting scripts, there's social media campaigns. There's tons of different ways you can leverage this style of these words and like essentially this ad copy to get in front of people, right? From a social media market perspective, who's doing stories and asking questions and polling people? Cool. Such a huge opportunity. Such a huge opportunity too if people are engaging with this, right? And now you're messaging people and you're talking about stuff, right? So here's an example. We're going to call all the off-market listings between 650 to 850,000. If we come across any potential deals, would you like to let us know within this area, right? Absolutely. 100, right? If I could sell my house for blank, I would list my home this summer. This is an effective story that a ton of agents have done. You fill in the amount, right? Drop your dollar amount. See the responses, right? Now you're in the DMs. Now you can start messaging people through the DMs, right? So again, we're hitting different channels, right? Now we're tapping into who are you engaging with on social media. Another one, Instagram lead gen polls. All right. So this is a little different. 68% increase in mortgage rates. Yeah, ready to go. Right. So we can talk about mortgage rates, when it makes sense. The average person thinks about selling for 7 months before taking action, which best describes your situation. Again, we're just like dangling carrots here, trying to get people to respond and then start conversations with all of our followers and friends. Right. They keep going. Listing leads. Right? Equity report. I just did an equity report. I do like this. It's a little bit of a twist. I like equity report versus comparative market analysis, right? How much equity do you have in a home? I just did an equity report for my clients. Their estimate was off by 39,000. Do you want to report for your home? Right? Yes, absolutely.
Hey, Jared.
Yes.
On New Year's Day morning, I just thought I was going to do that. I just did a very generic email to my database, 1,127. And I just said, I've got some time this week because it's holiday, people are down, and I just was like, spend 5 minutes, Renee, throw it out there. And if you're interested, let me know. I've got time this week. Let's do this. 127. How many people responded on New Year's Day to me?
Hungover?
Right. Ready?
Hit me.
I got 312 responses.
Dang.
This is now.
So that's like 25%. Wow. Yeah. Just engaging your database.
Like random, because I remembered something or I pulled something from 2024 of ideas that morning, and I just did that. There was no fancy Canva. There was no fancy, simple email. And I just hit the button. Look at that.
I think that's just encouragement for all of us, right?
Well, then you laugh because of 212 of them are never going to move, which cracks me up. But at least they know it was me and they wanted their information.
Right.
I'm fine with that too, because they might know someone. So I didn't look at it like I would have a few years ago as maybe a waste of time, because it really was.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. I think we all, that's something we all have to get over, right? Like that's just a cost of doing business.
But my phone, the email, I was just dying. I was like, what's that?
Yeah. I love that.
Fantastic. Good thing I didn't pay it till midnight.
I had one agent who, it's funny, actually reminded me of a year ago. There's another thing there's an app called Reach where you can text blast out to like all of your contacts and it sends them out individually one by one. Well, she thought it'd be a good idea because she wanted to do the happy birthday thing. And she text blasted out to like 400 people. And she said, hey, I'm at, blah, 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 blah. What's your birthday? Hey, by the way, we should like grab coffees. So she had like 80 people respond back and they're like, yeah, let's grab coffee. How's next week? So she was like stacked for like the next few months. So don't do that unless you can handle it. But how cool is that? I love that. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, just got to work it.
Well, it's like the video, right? Because we want the email to be perfect. You might want to have
Yeah.
Canva on. No, I just hit the black and white.
Yep. Right. It doesn't have to be complicated. I agree. Guys, we're over time here. I'm just going to like click through these. There's tons of ideas in here if you want the slide deck. Again, it's all in here. What I will say is these are all from listingleads.com. If you want a free trial, cool. I think they give you 7 days. Some agents, little pro tip, they'll sign up, they'll download all the ideas and they'll cancel. Could do that too. There's enough ideas in there to keep you covered for the year, guys. But it's listingleads.com.
Can you go back to that for a minute, please?
Go back right here. Boom.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any questions? I know we're up on time. Good? In? Good? Helpful? Any final questions before we get going? If you filled out that paper, just make sure you plug in your name, email. Guys, if you could, I got a quick question for you. If you could help me out, I'm trying to grow my Google business profile. If this was helpful, worthwhile, if you could do me a huge favor and just scan this QR code real fast, You don't have to even write anything. Just click the 5 stars. I'd love to boost that up. And then next class, if you want to grow your Google business profile, please come to this class. I'm going to show you exactly what I did over a period of 13 months to take my Google business profile from 3 reviews to over 100 to getting like inbound organic leads from it. I'm going to share with you exactly what I did so you can do it for your business. If you have any questions on farming, please reach out to me. I'd be happy to help you out. Fill out that form. We'll follow up with you. We'll get you everything from the slide deck to all the information. And if it ever makes sense, if you want to dig deeper into this, set up Google ads, Facebook ads, meet one-on-one. I'd be happy to help with you. Just circle that you want to meet, and we can figure out a time to meet next month, and we'll help you with whatever you want to do. Okay? Cool? Thanks for hanging out.